30 upon square root of 8 plus square root of 5 plus square root of 3. We have to simplify this. Let's try. So whenever there is a radical in the denominator, we rationalize the denominator. To rationalize, we have to find a conjugate. Conjugate of x plus y is x minus y. But here we can see that there are 3 terms. So what we can do, we can group them so that we have 2 terms. So we can write it as 30 upon either square root of 8 plus square root of 5 together and then square root of 3 like this. Or to further simplify it or reduce the steps, we can take square root of 5 plus square root of 3 together and then write plus square root of 8 like this. So we are not changing the question, just rearranging it. Now the conjugate of square root of 5 plus square root of 3 plus square root of 8 will be square root of 5 plus square root of 3, since this is considered one term, minus square root of 8 upon square root of 5 plus square root of 3 minus square root of 8, or then 30 times square root of 5 plus square root of 3 minus square root of 8 upon, now if you consider square root of 5 plus square root of 3 as a, square root of 8 as b, then this is a plus b times a minus b in terms of differences of square. So it is a square minus b square. So we can write it as square root of 5 plus square root of 3 whole square minus square root of 8 square, or then 30 times square root of 5 plus square root of 3 minus square root of 8 upon, again this is in the form of a plus b whole square. This is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab. So this will be square root of 5 square plus square root of 3 square plus 2 times square root of 5 times square root of 3 minus square root of 8 square. We can remove the square root with this square, because when a is under square root, it means a is raised to the power of 1 upon 2. When we square it, exponent is multiplied by 2. So we remove the square root with the square. So 8 will be here. Again 30, then times square root of 5 plus square root of 3 minus square root of 8 upon, remove the square root with the square. So it is 5 plus 3 plus 2 times 5 times 3 is 15. So 15 under square root, because when a is under square root times b is under square root, then it is equal to 8 times b under square root. Then minus 8. Now 5 plus 3 is 8 minus 8. So we can cancel them together like this. Now you understood why we grouped them together, because if you have grouped square root of 8 plus square root of 5, then there would have been 2 more steps. Now it is 30 times square root of 5 plus square root of 3 minus square root of 8 upon 2 times square root of 15. Again in the denominator we cannot have a radical, so we multiply and divide by square root of 15. When we multiply and divide by the same number, it's just like multiplying by 1, because this and this gets cancelled and it is equal to 1. So again, not changing the question, rationalizing the denominator. So 30. Now again let's multiply the radicals. So it will be 15 times 5 under square root plus 15 times 3 under square root minus 15 times 8 under square root, because square root of 8 times square root of b equals to 8 times b under square root, then upon 2 times square root of 15 square. So we remove the square root with the square. So 30, 15 times 5 is 75, or we can write it as 5 times 3 times 5 under square root plus 5 times 3 times 3 minus 15 times 4 times 2 under square root upon 15 times 2 is 30. Now we can cancel this 30 and 30. Now this is square root of 5 square times square root of 3 plus square root of 3 square times square root of 5 minus square root of 4 times square root of 30. Remove the square root with the square, so it is 5 times square root of 3 plus 3 times square root of 5 minus 2 times square root of 30. So this is our final answer. How did you solve it? Let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching.